Hello ladies and gents, and welcome back to another Satisfactory video. Today we will be continuing our aluminum production that we started last time. Previously, we made this extensive rail network down the west coast, which pulls in coal right at this train station and drops it off right here, along with the bauxite from above and the water from below. And today we're going to be combining all of this to make some aluminum parts, because we need the aluminum to make aluminum casings. And we need casings to make radio control units, and we need the radio control units to make blenders, because our next project that we desperately need is a fuel plant. We just need a little bit of aluminum to get the basic radio control units being produced, so it shouldn't be too hard. Okay, so to start with, on this little production line that we have to make is our bauxite refinement. So we're going to take bauxite and water and use the sloppy alumina alternate. And we're going to make the alumina solution. Now we need 120 water, 120 bauxite, and then we make 144 alumina solution. And then this refinery, I have these underclocked to 60% because this will intake half of the bauxite because we're only bringing in, I think, 120. And same over here. Each one of these refineries will directly feed the next refinery in the line here, which will be the aluminum scrap. So we're going to take coal and alumina solution, combine it, get scrap, but we have to deal with the water as a byproduct. So this water will actually get sent back into this refinery because this one needs water. And yeah, it'll get recycled and we don't have to worry about that. And then we're just going to have to smelt this aluminum scrap. So not too hard. Got to do all the logistics here, but yeah, should be pretty easy. But that's the kind of the basic plan of this. I mean, these are really simple and rudimentary setup for aluminum. All right, and I think I have set up all of our logistics the way we need it to. That took more time than I thought it would. But yeah, so we have color coded the pipes here. So we have water is this light blue being thrown into here. I don't have any power hooked up just yet, but we can worry about that in a little bit. And then the white is going to be the aluminum solution. So this one is going over there. Each refiner just goes into the next one. Let's go take a look downstairs. Let me turn on the flashlight. And yeah, so we have the water over here. Now this is a pretty cool setup. So with this water extractor down here, I think we're producing 96, and because we only need 48 per refinery. So I have a valve on the water extractor side, limiting it to 48. So it'll never push more than 48 into the intersection pipe here. And coming back from the other refinery with the water byproduct, that byproduct I think makes at 72. And so we have a valve here that limits 72, so there's no backflow ever. So in theory, both these should always only let through what they're supposed to. And just for good measure, I have a pump on here as well, just pushing that into the refinery so there's no backflow issues. So we shouldn't ever have a problem here. And again, this is the same on the other side. And yeah, so I just hooked up our bauxite, split it in half. One line is 120, the other line's the other to 120. Both getting into the refinery, coming out alumina solution, which I then throw into the input over here, along with coal. So we just brought the coal storage buffer over here. We just kind of pulled out from the end of it, and it comes all the way down here, gets split, and gets dealt with over here. Just split into two, and then our outputs are right about here, although we're not outputting anything just yet, just because we need to hook everything up to power. But what I'm gonna do now is I think I'm gonna stress test this. So I'm going to I'm gonna power everything up, let it fully saturate, and then I'm going to sink the aluminum scrap that it makes, just to make sure that we are producing everything that we need properly at 100%, so that way I know this half of the factory will be all functioning properly. So let's go do that. All right, and so it looks like we have everything we kind of need done over here. So everything's all powered up. I got power lines to all of these guys, and they all seem to be working at 100%. Just getting sunk right now, all the aluminum scrap. I haven't set up any smelters, and that is the next thing we need to do, is set up some smelters. So for that, we need a little bit of space over here. So all we're going to do for the smelting portion here is throw down a blueprint of 4 smelters, because we need 3.6 per side. And we're going to underclock that 1 to 3.6. I'm going to press H so I can make sure this is all lined up. Perfect. And that looks good to me. And then we just got to throw the mirrored version on the other side. That looks okay. We can even take it a step further if we wanted and grab this beam and throw it all the way over here. And then we can connect the power that way as well. And then one of these will need to be set to 60%. But we need to get all the recipes set as well. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, and now looks like 2 of the ones on the end are set to 60%. So we just gotta hook these lines up to power and run our scrap belts from each side into each lane here. So pretty easy. And we do need to stress test this before we start continuing on our build. Okay, so what we have got here is just another awesome sink, or I think it's the same awesome sink. And we just got the ingots from both those production lines coming down here. I actually have that splitter boxing up some ingots here. And that is so I can just go grab that and throw it over in a production line over by our starter factory. Because I wanted to get the hover pack soon, and I don't really want to wait to make a whole production line and whatnot. So I'm just gonna go make a temporary production line over there. So that's what that's for. But the ingots seem to be working fine. In fact, there might be a little bit of a backup on some of the scrap, and I'm not sure why that might be. That's something I'm gonna have to look into. But the actual amount of ingots and everything seems to be correct. And with our production all running smoothly over here, it's time to pop back over to our starter factory and unlock a milestone. All right, and back over here, I've kind of filled up some stuff with aluminum, and I can even actually add a storage container over here, like so. And then we just have to add a splitter. All right, and then we can just put the ingots in here. And once we turn on this or connect this little power cable here, these will both turn on, and we will start getting products to unlock, like hover pack, amongst other milestones. So I'm gonna wait for these things to build up real quick. But while we do that, I do have to address a couple things. So we now have a bigger inventory. I'm not sure if I said it in the our first episode, but did want to upgrade the inventory once we hit phase 4, because the default inventory is just very small. And while you do get upgrades and such, it just still feels like way too small. So I added 150 slots. I can always add more if I feel like that's still not enough. But it is not exactly fun when you have to just go back across the map every 2 minutes when you're building a very detailed blueprint. But yeah, I'm gonna get what we need here, and then we'll go head over to the MAM. Okay, so I think I've gotten all the materials we need. So to unlock the hover pack, yep, we are good. So let's dump all these materials in here, and we will send this off and unlock the hover pack. I forget what it takes to build these. Let's find out real quick. Hey, take it off my screen. Thank you. And for a hover pack, we need... Okay, we just need to grab some extra sheets. Easy. All right, and we almost have our hover pack. And there we go. So now, should be able to just hover around. Yes. We love this. My favorite item in the game. I love it so much. Very awesome. Time to fill up the inventory now. Alright, we got tons of items, and I'm just going to hop on this train and head over to our aluminum plant and start building. I'm going to try to build up at least a decent structure around it. I don't know if we're going to be able to finish it today. Honestly, just because of power issues, I'm not sure. So I'm going to try, but if we kind of end up having power issues, then I'm going to divert from finishing that, and we will kind of start on the next project, which would be the fuel plant and getting the radio control units made. Okay, so we're back over here at the aluminum plant, and I have a couple ideas that I want to kind of get through. So first, I want to grab out our customizer and change some foundations. So I want to lay out our walkways, like where we want to be walking, and I'm just going to change them with the customizer here, and we're going to go pretty much all the way around. So any of this asphalt will be changed, and then some paths in between the kind of the sections. Okay, so got this all hooked up, and that will continue to sync properly. I just wanted to get that out of the way here. For this, I have I think a decent idea here. I think what we should be doing after we get all this done is we want to be kind of enclosing this in a kind of probably glass, and then it will kind of feel like separate kind of production lines or rooms. Okay, so what I'm thinking is if we just look and kind of line up down below, we want this hole, I think, to be here, so that we can snap it like so. Oh no, this is one tick off of where it needs to be. But I think our pole needs to be here. So if I want to mesh this into the ground like that, I also don't want it being super overbearing, because we want to be able to line it up on the next one right here, like so. And now that we have this lined up perfectly, we can kind of delete this stuff. And then we can just keep zooming down this way. And while it doesn't line up there, I believe we can just keep going off of this. So this will hang over half. We snap it. It'll hang over half on this side. Again, we snap it. And it's a super easy way of just lining everything up. So I like this. I'm gonna probably get a border like this all the way around all of them. And then I do think... Thinking about a railing. So instead of snapping it on top of here, like so, where it moves, you can just look at the foundation. Like I'm looking at the foundation right here, and it'll snap to that quadrant of the foundation. And then we can just zoom, and it'll be perfectly aligned. So one tip for you guys, if you did not know. Just like so. And I think we can even add glass, like, meshed into this as well. Might work out. So like we did, let's get some walls here. We did like something like this, maybe. And I think fully enclosed with a roof and with like lighting and stuff, this would actually look a lot better. I think it might actually look pretty good. And doing 3 high will give us the ability to make a second floor for the construction of the materials, which we actually will need. We'll need the space for it, because the refiners are going to take up the full 6 or 7, whatever. I forget how tall they are. I think it's 6. They'll take up the full size, but we might be able to get away with doing 2 floors with the smelters. So I'm just going to kind of continue this pattern along with a bunch of these, and then create a second floor. And we'll see how it looks at the end. All right, and after a little while of building, I have kind of come up with this. You can kind of see that I kept the original design here with the pillars on the side and the rails and then the glass walls. But I've added some beams around the edges to kind of give it a bit more depth and stand out a bit more on the edges. I added this glass roof here as a skylight for now. And then with this this beam that goes in between, I did add these little the beam connectors that mesh into the glass, and it kind of makes it look a little bit better. I think I've gotten kind of all the connectors stuff down, but yeah. So I kind of just kept this consistent throughout. I do have a little staircase right here. This probably won't stay. I don't know yet, but we have an open floor plan up here, ready to go. I took away 2 foundations just so I could, freely move about. But yeah, this we're gonna have to enclose up here as well. But I've gotten most of the walls down. I think I'm out of silica, so I'm gonna have to finish that up. But I think we're kind of in dire need of power, so I'm gonna transition from building here to working on our fuel plant, because it's still gonna take a while before it's done, because we have to do a bunch of refineries and waste refinement, all that stuff. So we're gonna put a pause on this, and we are gonna go probably set up some temporary production for radio control units. All right, guys, so just real quick before we head out from this location, I did throw down a few constructors and run the logistics so we can be making some aluminum casings, because we will actually need those for the radio control units. So I figured might as well set this up and get these all start boxed up in a, I think it's one of these train stations, I think, or maybe not. I don't know if I ran the logistics yet, but it's going to go into one of these train stations here. We're probably going to do this one, and then we can ship them out later on, but this will just act as a storage for now. So I think now, while these build up, we need to go and create a small little production line just from like storages and stuff for radio control units. All right, and we are back over by our starter factory area, and this is a little production line that I've set up. So we need crystal oscillators for the radio control units, along with, I think, rubber and, or no, computers and aluminum casings. So to make these, and so what I've done is just, let me increase this actually. I've grabbed a bunch of computers from our storage, throw them in here. I need to get more casings, and we have this other constructor because we haven't actually made any crystal oscillators yet, which is kind of surprising. So I grabbed some materials that we had, just making crystal oscillators, and then it'll actually back up into the storage, so we might actually have some extra for later on. But this is making a decent amount of these radio control units, but it is going to use these pretty quickly, the aluminum casings. So I need to figure out how many we need. Okay, so we need 5 radio control units per blender, and if I remember correctly, we're going to need 8 blenders. We might need 16. That's possible, which we'd only need 80 in total. So I'm probably going to let this build up to around 80, and that way we would have enough for the power plant. Well, guys, I think that wraps it up for today's video. In our next video, we will be building our new fuel plant, targeting about 20,000 megawatts. And I think we'll build it right about in this area. And if you guys did enjoy the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see all of you guys in the next video. Peace.
I'm slick with words, tongue sharp, you left in thirds. You pitching verbs, I knock it out, I'm flipping birds. While smoking herbs, I'm blocking out what often hurts. I'm moving herds, it's me, my family, money merge. We crave the day that we can finally start to splurge.